Hey guys, and welcome back to this brand new video. And in this video we're going to be talking about the Battle of Midway. So let's start off what happened in the Battle of Midway. The result, what came up to the battle. So what happened is that the Japanese have decided to want to take control of the Pacific. So what they did, they started attacking Pearl Harbor. They bombed it. And they thought that the Americans would take years to recover from that, but no, it actually took a few months, and they launched an attack to the Japanese, which resulted in the Japanese wanting to take Midway. Okay, so let's talk about what happened there. The Americans launched some bombers from the Enterprise to bomb the center of Tokyo to take revenge on what happened in Pearl Harbor. So when they launched that, they launched like 6 bombers, and they launched their bombs in the center and around of Tokyo. Then and surprisingly, they did not lose any bombers.
When they bombed the F out of Tokyo, they wanted to, the Japanese civilians their morale went down by a bunch. And they didn't trust the Japanese government because the Americans were like the first country to make it to homeland Japan, which is Tokyo and its land. So yeah, and the bombers landed in Freeland, China, where Freeland is basically where they want Japanese, and yeah, they didn't lose any men or bombers. But by the way, those bombers were B-25s, and they were army bombers, so they weren't like built to go in the oceans because they're not Navy planes.
Okay, so now we explained something that happened in the Battle of Midway and what resulted up to that.
Oh wait, I need to say something else. The first of all, the Battle of Midway started because the Americans intercepted some coded language, I think it is, and they cracked it, and they said, in coded language, it said that the Japanese were heading for Midway, and so then the Navy scrambled to get their ships and to Midway to defend it, because it would be, well, the Americans didn't have, no, look, the Japanese wanted to invade Midway because they're like, okay, this end is a strategic point for the Americans because it has an airfield, and yeah. And if we take this point, the Americans are basically pretty effed, but not 100%. They would be more effed if they destroyed their carriers, which didn't happen.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, as my brother said, they thought that Midway was a strategic point to the Americans to attack the homeland Japan. So they decided to invade it because they thought it was a strategic point, but really it was just another island for the Americans. So they
it was actually a strategic point for the Americans. It wasn't just another island for the Americans, dummy.
But like they had hangars there, yeah. But it was
a strategic supply base where the planes could land to refuel, dummy.
Yeah, but can't they just use air carriers?
You're dumbass, bro.
Probably friendly, Maxi.
just talk, bro.
Yeah. Okay. So basically what happened is that they got their planes, and they decided to go scout to check the ships, and they basically found like not the main fleet, but they found a side fleet. So they called the bombers and
it was
torpedo bombers.
No, I think they called B-17s.
Yeah, they called B-17s and escort planes. Wait a sec.
Bro.
Stop. Okay. And they also called escort planes to attack it.
No,
but
they didn't call escort planes.
Yeah, to escort the bombers.
Bro, the escort planes were used to defend Midway. They didn't get escort planes because it would be a huge gamble.
Yes, but that's
Okay.
Maxi. Let me explain.
Oh my God.
That was when they knew they had a huge fleet. Okay, so but okay, and after that they went to attack that side fleet, but instead they lost. They didn't lose. They lost where they were, and they instead attacked a transport fleet. So basically they still had some fleet.
Okay. Again, the B-17 are not naval planes. They're just some big, one of the most advanced bombers from the Americans, behind the B-29.
Yes, and also they scrapped most of the things on the B-17 on the B-17s that were flying to Tokyo to make it as light as possible.
They're not B-17s. They're B-25 bombers, bro.
Maxi, you're the dude who likes planes. I don't really know much about planes.
Okay. So basically, what's my brother trying to say is that the B-25 bombers, they tried to make it the most lightest, so they didn't. So they went faster and they lost less fuel basically. Okay, so basically, what happened after that? The B-17s, no B-17s were lost. They were just damaged, and then they just returned back and to get repaired. So then the Americans figured out the fleet of the Japanese, which were, let me get my paper because I can't memorize all of that. The Japanese fleet were 4 carriers, 2 battleships, 6 heavy cruisers, 1 light cruiser, and 14 destroyers. Okay, I forgot to put the amount of aircraft, but you know.
They had hundreds.
Yeah, sure, hundreds. The American had 7 heavy cruisers, 1 light cruiser, 15 destroyers, 16 submarines, and 127 aircraft. Okay, and the Japanese had over 100 planes to in Midway basically. Yeah.
So with that being said, the Japanese were outnumbering the Americans, and also
the Japanese also had the most advanced fighters, so they were basically more than outnumbering them. They were outdating them.
Yeah, they were outnumbering them and outdating them, but
In technology.
and technology. But also, this is a very important thing. The Japanese had some like how do you say, like the fleet that were 1 day away from arriving, like reserve fleet. They had a reserve fleet arriving.
No. It wasn't a reserve fleet. It was a lone aircraft carrier.
Alone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
But it was being escorted by battleships, heavy cruisers, and stuff like that.
no.
It was.
Look. Everything is true, but okay. Okay, so what's gonna happen is that the Americans launch a attack on the side fleet again, which were like 57 torpedoes and bombers and dive bombers. It went terribly wrong. They got obliterated by the Zeros and the AA, aka anti-aircraft. Also, then what happened is that this pilot, which I think he was a lead pilot, made a huge gamble. Instead of returning back to base, he went on further. He spotted a lone carrier. I think it was the
Arisaka?
the Akagi or the Kaga. I don't know. I think it was a Kagi or Kaga. They caught that lone aircraft carrier, and that lone aircraft carrier was heading to the main fleet, which had all of the aircraft carriers. Okay. On those, so they followed the plane. No, not the plane, the aircraft carrier to the main fleet. What happened then is that my brother will explain.
Yeah. So what happened is that they followed them. And then the Battle of Midway started. They got all of their bombers, and they left the escort planes on the island to defend just in case the bombers failed. So they.
Look. The Americans didn't know the bombers were going there. Okay? Let me explain. You don't know how to explain anything. So basically, when the dive bombers and the torpedo bombers went to attack the side fleet, no fighters escorted them. They went by themselves, yes, which led to the Zeros destroying them. Then I think one of them went further.
Yes.
Discovered not one of them. Like 4 squadrons of planes.
One squadron.
No, 4, bro. And then they spotted blah blah blah. They spotted the aircraft carrier. Then they went to the main fleet behind the aircraft carrier. Luckily, the planes were refueling and rearming because they just defended the torpedo bombers and the dive bombers. So then it was perfect to bomb the F out of them. The Americans just bombed first the Kaga, which made it even better because they were just reloading the bombs on the planes, which equals more explosions. They they blew up the Akagi, the Soryu, and I forgot the name, bro. And the Hiru, the Hiru.
Yeah, but
they blew them up basically.
But with the Kagi, one bomb went through the deck and went directly to the hangars, which created a huge explosion.
Chain
reaction, leaving in 1 hour the Kaga was filled with flames, and the entire Japanese fleet was destroyed. And so now my brother will read you out the damages, the losses.
Okay. The Japanese lost all of their carriers, which were 4. They lost one heavy cruiser and thousands of experienced aviators. The U.S. losses were the USS Yorktown and a few planes and pilots. But the U.S. Yorktown wasn't destroyed; it was just damaged.
Badly damaged. So this is the end of the video. Please like, subscribe, and I will see you another time.